And so when I got to the callback, they were like, "Hey, we really need to see you on ice." And I said, I already kind of said, how am I going to do this? Right. And so I basically put together a vlog. I like edited a bunch of footage of me like going to the rink, and like it was a Monday. I was just going to the random public skate of whatever I could find. Wow. And then I found two very nice strangers who were willing to coach me a little bit. So Fred and Mary, if you're out there, thank you. Got the job.
I want to know everything about your training and preparation to become Adriana on the ice.
Man, I mean, it's really...
What typically happens is the parties are in separate rooms. Lively and Baldoni, they won't even see each other. And the judge will go back and forth between the rooms to try to bring them to some sort of compromise. I think it's going to be hard to settle this case because there's so much at stake, and it's just not about the money.
Yeah.
How does this typically work? Do you think there's more than one person of interest and they just happen to have maybe more info on this guy that they follow?
Yeah, I do think there's more than one. Very, very commonly there's going to be, and if you're using the kind of metrics that we're talking about, you're going to get a pool of people who have similar footprints as to what I just described. And so you're going to tier them. Obviously, you're going to go with your most likely first. And that's one of the things I've talked about relative to DNA. If they got and we've all seen that video, the person very clearly who did this was concerned about leaving DNA because he's garbed up head to toe. I think he's actually even wearing two masks if you look closely. I think he's very, very concerned about leaving any touched DNA. But that said, because he's so...
I felt for him, though, Vlad.
You did, right?
I did. And the fact that he would choose to humiliate himself.
Also, like, if you're going to make a mistake, apologize even louder. And he tried. I want to be in the girlfriend's group chat, is what my wife said.
The One Direction alum revealing the parenting decision didn't sit too well with his ex, Gigi Hadid.
Her mom gave me about it, and I was like, at the end of the day, like, I worked my ass off, and like, I should be able to give my kid what I want to give her, you know?
$500 for one tooth?
Yeah, it's her first tooth, though. She's my first kid.
I know.
Give me a break.
But post-Dawson's, he did go back to TV, from playing a serial killer in Criminal Minds to a cameo on How I Met Your Mother as an 80s heartthrob who let himself go.
That's the reason I did it. Simon is now fat and bald. I said, sign me up. He's not breathing.
CSI. I mean, it's probably the biggest franchise in all of television.
And after a 2-season stint on CSI Cyber, James would later transform again to much praise playing singer Diplo in the 2017 parody series, What Would Diplo Do?
Dude, I saw his flames.
The actual real Diplo said, just make me look completely ridiculous.
I'm exec producing, I'm show running, I'm writing.
Are you gonna visit your dad, Harry?
It does seem like that there's been the slightest bit of a thaw between Harry and his father. Of course, not so much with William and Harry. With Meghan, if she does decide to go back to the UK, is that something that you think could go a long way in helping repair this relationship?
I think the first steps in repairing any kind of relationship between the Sussexes and the British members of the royal family is that it's all down to Harry. And we have seen a slight kind of, I guess, like crack in the frost.
Well, they met.
Between Charles and Harry, and I think that that's gone a long way in kind of establishing that warmth. Sadly, that hasn't extended as far as Prince William, who remains as the person with the door firmly shut. I know a couple of years ago that Harry tried to have an intermediary connect the two of them for a conversation, and it was William who was very much opposed to that.
Do you speak to William now? Do you text?
Currently, no.
What's the likelihood of a reconciliation? Your best educated guess.
A lot of time has passed since the kind of lowest points for Harry and Meghan and their experiences in the royal fold. With this addition of no security worries and the ability to come and go, I think it's inevitable that we will see some contact made on a kind of more family-to-family scale. I don't imagine William will be part of that, but I think given Charles has kind of maintained some line of communication with his son and is in a later stage of his life where perhaps is reflecting on things a little differently.
I do need to point out that there are a lot of Bradriana fans online.
There? Really?
I don't know, maybe you've seen one or two, maybe in your DMs or in your comments.
Yeah.
They're a very passionate fan base. And they're like, we just watched a whole beautiful romance unfold over 8 episodes. I can't believe she went with Freddie. I would love for you to talk to your Bradriana fans. And what is the message you want to send to them?
Well, Bradriana fans, we're not done yet. You know, I think if Adriana had picked Brayden in the first season, we would probably see less character development for the both of them, right? So I think they have a potential to become an even better pairing together now if that's the direction they end up going.
Do you see that in their future? That